Star Wars Outlaws is almost here for everybody. If you're tired of Black Myth Wukong, if you're tired of a game that isn't festooned with modern deisms and personal Western politics, boy, do we have the game for you. And you know about the monetary practices of Ubisoft, how they are trying to nickel and dime you and sell you a quadruple A experience completely piecemeal over the course of several years. Well, things got even scummier. This isn't the worst exclusive DLC deal that I can at least remember. I think it was the Marvel Avengers game that, such a big failure. Square Enix sold off all of its Western properties and went back east. They had some kind of exclusive costumes, I think, depending on which internet service provider you had. But this one's also pretty scummy as well. To get this skin for Star Wars Outlaws for your not Chewbacca stand-in, you have to sign up for a Disney Plus account. Then you can get tail wraps for Nix. Disney Plus subscribers, I guess also at the cost of being able to sue Disney for a wrongful death. Check out a previous video I did. If you sign up for that, they'll give you a piece of DLC for a game that nobody's going to be buying. Subscribers to get exclusive Star Wars Outlaws DLC, but is it worth a gigantic price tag? Yeah, the only thing that's more gigantic is Vess's jawline. That bitch crazy. Ubisoft is set to release Star Wars Outlaws, a new game based on the time period between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi on August 30th. Just around the corner, guys. But if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, you will get a bit extra as well. Ooh, fantastic. As part of Disney's promotion, those who subscribe to Disney streaming services will receive a minor cosmetic change for Nix. Nix is the main character's sidekick, which is a small and toyetic creature. This cosmetic will allow Nix to sport a blue piece on his tail. You're joking, right? Like, that's it? Like, no stat changes or anything like that. Like, normally when it comes to these Ubisoft games, if you pre-order something like that, just the other types of cosmetics that they'll normally roll out, okay, it'll normally have something, it'll give you like 5% extra HP. It won't be something that's totally game breaking, but it'll be something where when you start the game, it'll give you a little bit of a boost. It'll be analogous to like a mid-range item that you could pick up or in the regular play of the game. But this right here, it just makes your tail blue because everything in Star Wars is blue. According to the promotion, the cosmetic will be exclusive for Disney Plus subscribers, but one has to ask themselves, is this enough? For those keeping up with the news surrounding Star Wars Outlaws, something seems amiss in a galaxy far, far away. As reported by Bounding Into Comics editor-in-chief Spencer Bakuli, Ubisoft paid influencers to fly into Los Angeles. Yeah, exactly. Specifically to visit Disneyland, go on a boat trip, stay in a luxurious resort, all of that stuff, all at the expense and all at the cost of your own personal dignity and your authenticity. But there were so many people willing to sign up for that stuff. Somebody who wasn't and who was very vocal about exposing this stuff. Star Wars theory on that fact, and he is not going to, or if he is going to be playing this game, it's going to be to roast the game. And I know that Muller's going to be playing that, and yeah, I'll be checking out a little bit of gameplay on this, mostly because I've seen the trailer, we've seen the gameplay leaks, and brother, it looks trash, absolutely trash. And when it comes to creepy monetization, it actually continues to get worse, okay? Because we know that Jabba's iconic palace and an exclusive mission involving the iconic Star Wars character is also hid behind Season Pass DLC, something that was very intrinsic to the initial marketing of this game. It's paywalled on day one. So yeah, immediately people were skeptical about this game, but Star Wars Outlaws attempts to lure gamers with Lando Calrissian. Remember Lando? And Hondo, Ohnaka Season Pass missions. Unclear if characters are completely paywalled. I mean, I would imagine so, right? Ubisoft and developer Massive Entertainment, really, okay, will attempt to lure gamers to Star Wars Outlaws with an inclusion of Mando Calrissian and Hondo Ohnaka into the game as part of the Season Pass. Of course, Ubisoft's recently revealed its post-launch roadmap earlier this month and shared that both Lando Calrissian and Hondo will be included in future updates. In the blog post, Ubisoft revealed Calrissian will arrive in the story pack titled Wild Card and is set to release in fall of 2024 when literally dozens of people will still be playing the game. The company detailed Kay is hired to infiltrate a high-stakes sabacc tournament, which he crosses paths with notorious gambler Lando Calrissian, who you might remember from legendary Star Wars films like Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. She she soon learns that another game is being played. Ooh, sounds really exciting, I guess. Following the release of Wildcard, Ubisoft promises that a pirate's fortune arrives in spring of 2025. A brief description states the Trailblazer's reputation precedes Kay as she runs into veteran pirate Hondo Ohnaka and is looking to settle old scores with a ruthless gang of pirates. Oh god, I can barely stand to wait. So exciting. It's unclear whether or not Lando and Hondo will be available to players outside of purchasing the season pass. I mean, come on. If they're using them as marketing tips and tools in order to sell you on a season pass, I mean, like, you kind of already know. Company wrote all players will meet Jabba the Hutt in the main game, but those with season pass access will gain an additional quest from the notorious Hutt cartel. Just as Kay is putting together a crew for her big heist, she receives the job from Jabba the Hutt himself. Because yeah, basically Kay Vess is the female stand-in for Han Solo. And Han worked for Jabba, so yeah, you get to do that. You get to live out all of your fantasies. Doing so as a Roblox player and a Roblox character in a galaxy far, far away. ND5 owes a Jabba a debt from years ago, and he has come to collect. Yeah, I don't really care. This game is total ass, bro. And we know that to get access to all of this stuff, you've got to pay upwards of $100 or $130, or just the low price of $17 or $18 a month. Nobody's excited to play this game. Everybody's excited to dunk on this game because it looks like generic Ubisoft. Star Wars' reputation is totally in the trash, and Ubisoft's isn't that much better, for being completely honest. And while the embarrassment for Star Wars is just about done for 2024, all they have left is Skeleton Crew, and I don't even think that that's going to register on the downward trajectory of this once great franchise, because if you thought that the viewing figures for The Acolyte were bad, Skeleton Crew is going to be even worse. When it comes to Ubisoft, well, besides Outlaws, they have one more failure to release this year, and you would think with two big tentpole games still on the horizon, news of Ubisoft laying off more people, 45 more developers cut from their American offices, you would think that that would be the opposite of what should be happening right now. They would be bringing on more people, or at least maintaining the workforce that they have right now, with the anticipation that you have two big games coming out, two big games with sustained development on the horizon. What the hell is going on over there? All right, Ubisoft is dying. The latest entry into the ongoing wave of sweeping video game industry layoffs, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry series developer Ubisoft has announced that they will be yet again reducing their staffing numbers. Per Bloomberg, the France-based developer announced this week that they would be cutting 45 employees, all of whom reportedly be receiving severance pay and career assistance across San Francisco and Cary, North Carolina offices. It was a difficult yet necessary decision to make to align these studio organizations with their future businesses and development objectives, a Ubisoft spokesperson told the financial news outlet. Notably, the office in San Francisco was responsible for developing such titles as Rocksmith. Holy Christ, man. It's hilarious, right? Because you guys won't know this, but I've been thinking a lot about Guitar Hero. It's like the games that you sunk the most time into. And whenever I'm talking about gaming, it's important to make reference of, you know, the games that I played the most in the past. And actually, if you pay attention, you can't really see it because I'm mostly standing in front of it. Added another picture in my background right there. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's the picture of the entire team standing at the end of the expressway in Midgard just before they head off. And I like that. It's a great piece of key art. And that's a game series that I've sunk a lot of time into this year. But in totality, game series that I've spent the most time with, Assassin's Creed at one point in time, yeah, it was very high up there. I'd complete to the best of my abilities everything all the way up until Black Flag. That one just really didn't grab me, and I know that it's some people's absolute favorite. Far Cry, played the hell out of 3. I think I beat 4, and I've just dipped my toe into Primal and a little bit of 5, just a little bit of 5. It really didn't do that much for me at all. But Call of Duty, yeah, for a little while, all the way up until Ghosts. Halo, all the way up until 5. And then, of course, Guitar Hero. Oh my god, I can't tell you. There was a point in time where your boy was like a top 10 in the world player on Xbox, that was where everybody was playing. Yeah, I've sunk, ironically, thousands of hours into Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and trying to think why that fad just eventually died, where it never made that transition to the 8th generation, even though, yeah, it dominated the 7th. Everybody had a guitar peripheral. That's a game series that, unironically, I probably spent the most money on when it comes to DLC, peripherals, and just games in the franchise. There was a point in time where I had every single Guitar Hero, Band Hero, spin-off hero. Could not get enough of that stuff, and boy howdy, I love that stuff. Some of my favorite gaming memories are just getting my friends together and having a full band on Rock Band, or just me getting into the top 10 list of some of my favorite metal tracks. Like, it was a time, but what ended up just, killing off that franchise? Oversaturation. Yeah, oversaturation for sure. And also, I would say like Rocksmith and all of those, because what was the complaints, right? All of the people, oh, you're just wasting your time. Why don't you just learn to play an instrument? I was like, video games offer something completely different. If you wanted to play a guitar, you'd go and play a guitar. And it was little incremental changes like that that just ended up destroying the genre. And so, yeah, that's something that Ubisoft has been incredibly good at for a very long time, destroying things that were great. Yeah, and South Park's Fractured Butthole. Did they do the Stick of Truth? Because, yeah, talk about taking a joke and then just running it into the ground. Well, Carry Team, also known as Red Storm, has made itself notable for the Ghost Recon franchise, which, what was that, Wildlands, the last iteration in that, and that's been how long since they've done anything? Insult to injury, these layoffs come shortly after it was discovered that Ubisoft has been spending absolutely massive amounts of money to wine and dine online influencers for their own self-proclaimed biggest marketing budget and biggest marketing blitz in history for Star Wars Outlaws upcoming release. And I will be very interested to see the sales numbers on that. I will be very interested to see the concurrent player accounts, because it's kind of weird, right? We're 2 weeks removed from the game's official release and haven't really heard too much on the horizon when it comes to full-on reviews, which at this point in time you should have started to hear some inklings, but we've been seeing gameplay, and to say that instills hope, well, is kind of analogous to the overall health of both Star Wars and Ubisoft in general. I'll be waiting, but not for the reasons that they would like me to. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.